It's part of a larger effort by President Trump to use National Guard troops and surge federal law enforcement, especially in cities controlled by Democrats.
America, the National Guard just rolled into Memphis and the media is absolutely losing their mind. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't about militarization in the city. It is about restoring order in a place where crime has been out of control for years. Over 50 arrests in just days, illegal guns off the streets, and gang members finally facing consequences. This is what happens when you put citizens first and stop playing politics with public safety.
After much anticipation, the National Guard has joined several agencies here in Memphis to fight crime, a task which has left an entire community on high alert. With helicopters hovering,
these are challenging times,
and officers lining the roads.
What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. If you've been following this channel, you know that I've been calling out real action, not just in Memphis, but in every city that's been failed by weak leadership and soft on crime policies. Let me break down what's happening and why it matters and what the media won't tell you. Let's get to the root of this. The National Guard isn't here to harass law-abiding citizens. They're here because local law enforcement has been outgunned, outnumbered, and undermined by politicians who care more about optics than outcomes.
According to city leaders, the National Guard will not be making arrests or issuing warrants, and they will not be armed unless local law enforcement requests that they be armed. But we have learned that some arrests have already been made.
When you have thousands of outstanding warrants, homicides piling up, and neighborhoods living in fear, you need real resources, not more community meetings.
These are guardsmen and women who are Tennesseans, who will be a part of displaying the volunteer spirit and stepping up and serving their neighbors.
With thousands of outstanding warrants, we want these federal resources to help us to accelerate that work. And we're talking about people who have committed homicides in our city and other violent crimes. That's what our focus is on.
It's not just about showing force. It's about making it clear that lawlessness won't be tolerated anymore. And let's be honest, if you're not out here terrorizing your own community, you have absolutely nothing to worry about.
Federal authorities arrive in Memphis, promising to make the streets of Memphis safer for everyone, including law enforcement officers.
Here's what the mainstream media won't highlight. Since the operation started, over 50 arrests have been made, illegal guns have been seized, and violent offenders have been taken off the streets. This is not theory. This is action.
Bondi said in just 48 hours, the task force made 53 arrests and confiscated 20 firearms from Memphis streets.
Our department is here to enable you, law enforcement, to do your job, to help protect your facilities, help protect your people.
This is what happens when you untie the hands of law enforcement and give them the backup that they actually need. Public safety is the foundation for everything else. Business growth, job opportunities, safe neighborhoods for our kids and the elderly.
At the end, this is again, we got a lot of bumpy roads, so this is just another bump in the road.
At this point, no timeline has been given as for how long this operation will be in place. Governor Bill Lee previously said that success looks like to him Memphis being safer.
You can't have any of that if you don't have order in the streets. Of course, the usual suspects complaining about military tactics and federal occupation. But let's be real, these are the same people who benefit from the chaos, who want to keep blaming the system instead of demanding accountability from people who actually commit crimes.
But some say this influx of law enforcement isn't necessary. Crime in Memphis is at a 25-year low in the first 8 months of this year. That's according to Memphis Police Department. Local leaders say instead of troops, they want the administration to invest in mental health, education, and housing for the city.
Here's the thing. You can't have opportunity without order. You can't have prosperity if people are afraid to walk down the street. And you can't fix a city by throwing money at social programs while ignoring criminals running wild. Not everyone is buying the media narrative. Plenty of residents are relieved to see real action. They know that the National Guard isn't here to target law-abiding citizens. They're here to support police and make neighborhoods safe again.
Brandon B. Porter, a local pastor, supports the initiative.
The National Guard are not here to harass law-abiding citizens. They're here to deal with crime and other issues that disrupt the living here in the city of Memphis. And so don't ride dirty.
This is about making Memphis safe again, starting with the communities that need it most. If you're against that, then you need to ask yourself why. Because at the end of the day, every taxpayer deserves to see their money used to protect their families and their neighborhoods, not to coddle criminals and play politics with people's lives.
Our department is here to enable you, law enforcement, to do your job, to help protect your facilities, help protect your people, so that your hands can be untied.
We are going to work hand in hand to make the most violent crime city in the country have no crime.
This isn't just about Memphis. This is a test case. We've seen similar deployments in DC and Los Angeles, and now other cities are preparing for the same. The results speak for themselves. When you put real resources on the ground and make it clear that lawlessness won't be tolerated, things actually start to change. Crime drops, businesses come back, and people can live without fear.
White House officials who came to Memphis say and promise by the end of these operations to see a heavy reduction of crime, but now some residents worry if this task force has enough city knowledge to police the city after a possible task force member was involved in a crash.
The critics will always find something to complain about, but the bottom line is if you want opportunity, if you want prosperity, you have to start with public safety. That is a non-negotiable.
Critics say the deployment feels like a federal occupation of a majority black city that needs funding, not force, to fight poverty and crime.
This is about results, accountability, and putting citizens first. Exactly the principles that I stand for. The National Guard and federal agencies are supporting law enforcement, not replacing them. They're making it possible for officers to actually do their job without having their hands tied behind their back by failed policies and political games.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi are also in Memphis. Bondi says they'll charge anyone who touches a police officer with assault. Meanwhile, Hegseth says the National Guard will be providing security for law enforcement to allow them to safely do their jobs.
If this works, and the early numbers say it is, this is the model for every city that's been failed by weak leadership and soft on crime policies. It's time to get back to the basics. Law and order first. Opportunity follows. That's how you rebuild American cities, and that's how you protect the next generation. America, the Memphis crackdown is a blueprint on how you restore order in American cities. The National Guard isn't the enemy. They're the backup. The only people that should be worried are the ones out here terrorizing their own communities.
Attorney General Pam Bondi had a warning for anyone looking to make trouble.
If you touch a law enforcement officer, it is a crime and you are going to jail.
If you want opportunity, you need to start with order first. This is how you rebuild communities. This approach is about results, accountability, and putting citizens first. Exactly what we should stand for. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.